Hi, we are Group 9 and we are about to tackle or to be discussed the visual sources in the study of history.
Our objectives at the end of the lesson, the student should be able to know the visual sources are valuable sources of historical information, examine visual sources critically in order to have a reliable account, and last is appreciate the paintings of Luna and Amorsolo as representation of history. So by the end of this lesson, we will understand that pictures like paintings can teach us about history. Matututunan natin na how to look closely to these pictures para malaman natin ang real story behind them. So, and last, they will appreciate how the works of artists like Luna and Amorsolo show important events and stories from the past. So, next is for our introduction. In this lesson, visual sources to be tackled are photographs, painting, cartoons, and video documentaries. These materials are dependable sources of historical information. In the past, visual sources were usually credible even if editing applications are rampant nowadays. Visual sources with established credibility are still very blatant in revealing episodes of history. Visual sources, including sketches, posters, advertisement, and three-dimensional arts, are considered primary sources. So, for our introduction, matatalakay natin dito ang visual sources tulad ng pictures, paintings, cartoons, at video documentaries bilang maaasahan na information sa kasaysayan or noon pa. Noon ang mga ganitong sources ay maaasahan, importante sa kanila itong mga ganitong mga sources. At kahit may mga bago na tayong mga visual sources ngayon and editing tools, may mga visual sources pa din na nagpapakita ng pangyayari sa kasaysayan noon. So, kasama na rin sa mga visual sources ang sketches, posters, advertisement, and yung mga 3D art. And they are one of the primary sources na nagbibigay ng information tungkol sa kasaysayan noon pa man. At kung kailan ito mga ginawa. Kasama na rin ng mga pamumuhay, kung paano namumuhay ang mga tao noon at yung mga pananaw nila. Halimbawa, yung mga archaeological finds na nagpapatunay ng mga kultura at paninirahan ng mga tao noon. Wala pa man nakasulat ng mga documents tungkol dito. And mahalaga ito para sa mga historians na suriin ng mabuti yung mga visual sources para malaman nila the truth behind sa panahon kung kailan ito ginawa. So, for our next slide, reading and understanding visual sources for historical writing. Visual sources can tell a lot of ideas regarding the people and the environment that surround them. This occurs even the person who viewed them will know the meaning they exude or not. However, the historian is not just a person who simply looks at visual materials as mementos of past experiences or decorations in wall. Rather, he is a scholar who sees them as valuable sources of historical information. To him, a picture or a painting dwells upon historical content from which it is created, and whether or not the creator was conscious of his material as a source of historical information in the future is essentially immaterial. What is more important is that the material became potent tool through which events and ideas in the past could be the generation and above. So for this, for the reading and understanding visual sources, kung paano ba ina-understand or paano ba nila iniintindi ang mga visual sources dati. Or paano nila mga binabasa. Ang mga visual sources like paintings or painting ay kayang magkwento tungkol sa mga tao at kapaligiran sa kanilang panahon or yung mga dati pa man. Kahit hindi alam ng lahat ang eksaktong ibig sabihin ng mga ito, may mga mahahalagang information pa din na makukuha dito. So, para sa mga historians, sa mga visual sources ay hindi lang sila basta-basta memories or decorations. Ito ay mahalaga ding mga pinagmulan ng kasaysayan natin noon. Or, kumbaga, ayun nga, memories natin from the past. Kahit hindi alam ng mga gumawa nito, ang magiging mahalaga, kung magiging mahalaga ba ito sa kasaysayan natin ngayon, ang mas mahalaga ay nagiging way ito para maipasa or maipasa yung mga kwento ng nakaraan sa mga susunod na henerasyon. So, kumbaga parang para malaman din natin, naging way yung mga visual sources noon para malaman natin yung mga pangyayari from the past. And yung iba is ma-apply natin or magamit natin ngayon.
For visual sources of this study of history, we have here 4 common na ginagamit na natin na source in the history. We have here photograph, painting, caricature, video documentary. Yung photograph, it represents or captures as a minute's part of reality in an exact form. But photograph can be easily sabotaged or edited. So, marami tayong need i-consider bago natin masabi talaga na source siya. And painting naman, it's imitations part of reality in a more exact form. But limited lang siya since yun yung imagination lang ng artist. And caricature is a representation but in a more exaggerated way. And the video documentary is pinaka-reliable sa lahat as a source since it can capture moving elements na mas madali nating ma-identify if galing ba talaga siya dun sa exact na history or exact na nangyayari. Kasi meron siyang moving elements and nakaka-capture niya yung exact reality. Though, bago natin makonsider na sources ang lahat ng yun for the history, kailangan muna natin i-examine, i-analyze yung mga bagay na yun. Even though it's pictures or images, videos, or photograph, or painting, or even the artifacts or fossils, kailangan natin yung sources and examine. Diba? Pag nag-examine ka ng painting, photographs, cartoons, and video documentary, marami kang pwedeng i-consider na tanong, or yes, yung mga question na para mas ma-clear mo if it is really from the history or reliable source ba siya for our history. Number 1, we can ask what is depicted or what is the main focus of the image. Ano ba yung pinaka tinututukan ng image na yon or ng certain paintings na yon? When and where was it created? Kung sino gumawa and ano ba yung significance ng paggawa nila? Or, bakit ba nila to ginawa? What is the message? Siyempre, what is the overall theme? Siyempre, kung gaano ba ka-similar yung photos na yon or yung certain things na yon from the same period. Malalaman mo rin yun kung talaga bang pwede siyang kuning source. What is the style? Siyempre, yung style mahalaga din yan kasi every era we have or every year we have, nagbabago-bago naman yung style. So, ano ba? Saan ba siya naka-associate na style? Kaya pwede mo rin siya examine through that. Or how was it received? Or like, how did contemporaries respond to it? What is its significance? Diba? Yun nga yun. Ano nga ba yung pinaka-importansya na paggawa nilang certain things na yun. So, it is
the book Political Cartoons, Political Caricature of the American Era, 1901 to 1941, by Alfred McCoy and Alfredo Roses, discusses the political cartoons published in local newspapers and magazines during the American colonization of the Philippines. The authors explain that this era marked the introduction of a more free press by the American colonizers, which led to a new styles of press freedom. It was also a challenging time financially for artists, but the political cartoons helped supplement their income. The authors argue that these cartoons were the artists' response to the political and cultural environment of the time. Alfred McCoy is an American historian who currently teaches at the University of Wisconsin-Madison. He holds a BA in European History from Columbia University, an MA in Asian Studies from the University of California, Berkeley, and a PhD in Southeast Asian History from Yale University. His areas of expertise include Southeast Asian history, U.S. foreign policy, and the role of intelligence and the military in modern society. He has published numerous books and articles on these subjects and is widely respected for his scholarly work. Dr. McCoy has written extensively on the Philippines and Southeast Asia. He got interested on the theme of the book when he was doing his dissertation. In a span of 10 years, he collected copies of these cartoons from original copies stored in the Library of Congress of the United States, the Australian National Library, the National Library of the Philippines, and other institutions. Juan Luna was a prominent Filipino painter who is best known for his works Parisian Life and the monumental masterpiece Polarium. Born in Badoc, Ilocos Norte in 1857, he initially studied at the Ateneo Municipal and underwent training under Spanish painter Agustin Saez. Luna later took up seafaring and studied navigation at the Academia Nautica de Manila, but he eventually abandoned this profession to pursue his passion for art. He became an apprentice to painter Lorenzo Guerrero, and further advanced his studies at the Real Academia de Bellas Artes de San Fernando in Spain. Spoliarium is a painting by Filipino artist Juan Luna which depicts the aftermath of gladiatorial fights in the Roman Colosseum. Measuring 4.22 by 7.675 meters, it is the largest painting in the Philippines. With a concentration of light on the center, Luna highlights the gruesome scene of mangled cadavers, symbolizing the absence of equality and value of human life in ancient Rome. Rizal, in his speech, praised the painting as the essence of our social, moral, and political life, and honored Luna and Hidalgo, stating that genius knows no country. The painting Planting Rice by artist Hermoso depicts a peaceful rural scene with hard-working farmers tending to the rice field along the San Juan River. Despite the physical effort required, the presence of a man playing a guitar hints at moments of respite and communal musical composition. The painting stands out for the dominance of women over men, signifying that women can work side by side with men without prejudice in the countryside. This highlights the collective effort required to cultivate life-giving rice, as women symbolize the source of human life through birth. Overall, Planting Rice captures the tranquil atmosphere and dedication of the farmers.
Those paintings are examples of the events in the past that has been discussed to us or represents the history. Thank you for listening. Good night.